This creamy, smooth asparagus soup is full of fried asparagus. It takes the flavor on so well. It's super smooth, super rich. It's a delicious soup for you and your family to enjoy. First, we're going to start off with just a little bit of oil, a little bit of fresh chopped garlic. You're not really looking to saute or brown. We just want to sweat and let the flavors release into the oil. Now at this time, once you have your garlic and oil together, mixed together, you can go ahead and turn your heat to about medium high. Let that garlic infuse the oil, and then go ahead and add our Thrive freeze-dried celery, our Thrive freeze-dried onions. We're going to add a little bit of seasoning, Italian seasoning, pepper, salt, Thrive chicken bouillon, and we're going to stir all these flavors together and just get them lightly sweat and toasted with that garlic oil. Once you have all the flavors combined, go ahead and add your water. That's 4 cups of water. Once your water is in, go ahead and add your asparagus, Thrive freeze-dried asparagus. Stir this in. Now we're just going to let these flavors come together. Each one will burst their flavor into the liquid and create a really high flavorful soup. After we simmer the soup for 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to put it in a blender and blend it smooth. After the soup has come to a simmer, it's good to cover it to keep that steam and the flavors trapped in and keep those aromatics trapped in. Take a little bit of that wonderful asparagus and put it in a little dish. I'll tell you why. Because we're going to take some bacon, just smoked bacon you can buy from the grocery store, and I'm going to caramelize it and cook it till it's nice and crispy. I'm going to drain the fat, and I'm going to mix it back in with this asparagus, onions, and celery of our soup base here. So the soup is simmering. We need to continue to simmer it. While it's simmering, you can go ahead and make your garnish just by adding the bacon to a nice hot pan, taking a wood spoon and caramelizing the bacon, and then we're going to mix it back in with a little bit of our ingredient. We're going to use that for our garnish on our soup. It's going to be delicious. Okay, so we have our soup. It's simmered down. We still have quite a lot of liquid. Just basically it's enough to cover the product. You don't want tons of liquid here. You want the asparagus to be soft. You want the vegetables to be reconstituted and definitely have released their flavor. It's about a 15-minute window. We're going to take just a regular blender. This has got an extra large bowl. If your bowl or jar is a little smaller, you're going to want to maybe do this in 2 batches so you don't make a huge mess, have a small explosion in the house. So we're going to take our asparagus soup and put it right into the jar. Once it's all in, we're going to puree this until it becomes perfectly smooth. Okay, after a few minutes and the soup is completely smooth, you can see that it's very hot because of the friction of the motor. Pour this back into your pot. Okay, now at this point, you want to turn the soup back on temperature, and we're going to go ahead and add 2 cups of heavy cream. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit of our rice wine vinegar for flavoring. Whisk this together. And basically now you just have to let that come up, back up to a simmer, let the flavors come out, let that cream do its thing, and make everything nice and rich. Back to where we took some of the soup out of the pot before we blended it, and I have that nice brown bacon. This is going to make a really tasty garnish for the soup. And it's really easy if you just think about it. All you got to do is brown the bacon and you already have the asparagus and the flavor right there in your soup pot. Okay? Now to plate this soup up, really simple. You just take your soup. Now that I have it back to a simmer, it's really hot, velvety smooth. You're going to just take your soup, And then go ahead and garnish with some of that asparagus and that bacon. What better gourmet treat than Thrive freeze-dried asparagus? This soup would be good for any of your classy dinner parties or just an everyday wonderful treat for you and your family. This is Chef Todd. I hope you enjoy this great recipe from the Thrive Kitchen.